Welcome to the Bruin Insider Show. Nick Koop with you, and we're less than 2 weeks away from the start of basketball season. So you know what that means. We got to catch up with one of our favorite guests on the program over the years, head coach of your women's basketball team, Cori Close. How you doing, Coach? How you been?
Amazing. I think this is we have tons to look forward to for both men's and women's basketball this year. We're definitely got a long ways to go, but I'm thrilled about the pieces that we have and what we can grow into.
Want to get into your team, but first, Kennedy Burke, the other night, winning the WNBA title with the Liberty. Have you had a chance to talk to her, exchange some text messages?
Yeah, we've exchanged some text messages, so thrilled. And what other people don't know is actually there was another Bruin on that team. She just was injured. Rebecca Gardner is on the roster there. And I actually had another former player, Renika Hodges, from my time at Florida State's on the coaching staff. So it was a pretty fun thing. But, yeah, Kennedy Burke, I mean, just has represented us so well. And in the WNBA, what an incredible thrill to win that championship, and especially in the manner in which they did. So really excited for our Bruins in the WNBA, and also have to give a shout out to, I mean, we have so many great coaches already in the WNBA, but now Natalie Nakase, the new head coach for the Valkyries, and so really excited for how Bruin basketball is impacting the W.
So year 14 for you here at UCLA, right?
Yeah,
so
some more gray hairs.
There's probably a laundry list of all the things that have changed for you as a head coach and for the sport. So maybe the better question is, what has stayed the same over that time?
Not much. I think I don't think ever in my career, I've been doing this now, I'm going into my 32nd year, and I don't think I've ever experienced more change than we have in the last decade. From everything that we went through in the pandemic to a gender equity crisis to the racial reconciliation situations that we were dealing with. And now we have NIL, and we have, the transfer portal, and we've got revenue share. So I think I've just told myself as a leader, change or die. The reality is you can like it, not like it, but my job as a leader is to adapt and to lead in a principled center way in the landscape in which we've been given. And so that's what we're doing.
But at the same time, women's basketball has never been more popular, never been bigger.
Right. Every record has been broken in the last 2 years in terms of viewership, in terms of media rights, in terms of attendance. Obviously, what we're seeing in the WNBA is so exciting. And, I think that we're going to see amazing things just here in Southern California. The Sparks set a record. They were last in the league, but they set a record in an attendance game. They had 19,700 at a game in crypto, more than any other home Laker game last year.
Wow.
I mean, when you think about that, that's just incredible from a team that was struggling in terms of the wins column. And now you've got USC and UCLA in the top 5 in the country. We're going to have Final Four. We're calling it Final Four in November. November 24th, we have number 1 South Carolina here at home, and USC has Notre Dame. All top 5 matchups happening right here in Southern California. So if you're a women's basketball fan, this is going to be an exciting year. And if you're not, you should be. It's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. For your team specifically, when you look at it, you got this core of juniors.
Yeah.
And I had to stop and remind myself because it feels like they've been here for so long. Kiki, Lauren, London, and Gabriella. And now they're established upperclassmen for you. What do you need from them this season?
Leadership, number one. I think that, we've been talented for the last couple of years, but we've lacked some consistency and in big moments having the confidence to really make those sort of game-changing plays. And I think that's what we need from them is for them to realize what they've earned, who they've become. They're a very hard-working group. And sometimes I don't think we always say you never outperform your self-image. And sometimes I have to remind them, remember what you've earned. You have worked really hard. You've added this to your toolbox. This is how you're different. And I think that we need them to lead with incredible confidence, to have great consistency and discipline. We talk a lot about how talent is your floor, but discipline and character is your ceiling. And that's what we really need that junior class to lead in, is the discipline and the character side. We have plenty of talent, but talent is only the floor. If you really want to go to new heights, it has to be led with character and discipline.
Well, it would seem then that they would then be the key to helping you integrate
Absolutely.
these new pieces that are very talented.
Yeah.
How's all that going, gelling everybody?
Actually, I think relationally it went faster than I thought. There's, a connected team is a committed team. And sometimes it takes a while when you have 7 new players to build that genuine, authentic connection. But actually this summer, really people were courageous. I remember going on our retreat and they're just the courageous vulnerability for them to let each other know each other's journeys. And that's not easy to do for us adults. It's not easy to do, let alone 18 to 22-year-olds. And so that has really, I thought, set the stage for us to having great chemistry on the court. Now, quite frankly, we're not there yet. We're still learning some system things, and consistency is a little bit all over the map. But you see these whoa, we've got flashes of brilliance, and it happened. But we also have some, I call them hero moments and zero moments. And we've got a few more zero moments than I like right now. But when we had a close scrimmage versus Utah last week at Utah, and I think we saw glimpses of how the team can come together. Because you can have a lot of great talent pieces, but that usually doesn't win you a championship. It has to do with connectivity and teamwork, and so that's what we're still working towards.
Every team, it seems like there's a challenge or maybe questions you have to answer going into the season, whether in the past 5 years you've had injuries where it's been hard for you to even practice. Mm-hmm. Is that maybe the challenge then this year, just bringing everybody together? Is there something else that you
Well, I think any year, your health of the best ability is availability, right? So you got to stay available and you got to keep growing. I think when you have a team of this kind of caliber, the temptation for anyone is to, people start saying, why aren't you getting yours? What's how come I'm not playing more? And I think, that's going to be the real challenge, is that on any given night, and we have this phrase and everybody uses it and knows it intellectually, but can we let it hit our hearts? Sometimes you, sometimes me, always us. And can the us always be the predominant, focus and priority? And so, and I just think that's human nature. You have to fight for that. That doesn't happen automatically. What I've told them is you have to pre-decide that you are going to choose selflessness. You have to pre-decide that the letters on across the front of your jersey are going to be much more important than what's on the back. And so I think that will be the challenge as we continue to go through the year. With more lights and more focus on women's basketball comes more temptation to that end. And so we're going to have to be really disciplined to make that hard choice.
And among the other new things is you've got a new conference you're playing in. And
wow.
Just looking at the preseason AP poll, Big Ten well represented, 6 teams in the top 25 with you and USC in the top 5. What is it going to be like playing in this new conference? You were so familiar with all the Pac-12 schools. Now there's a bunch of schools you got to learn and decipher. Well,
first of all, what a great challenge as a coach, right? And we've really believed that we are very good at preparation and scouting. And so, we've been probably, if you were to watch 7 games on an opponent, maybe now we're watching 10 to 12, just to get a feel and to do the work with that. We've had some background. We've played Indiana in recent years. We played Ohio State last year. We played Michigan in recent years. So I think there's going to be, and I'm probably missing some, but there's going to be some of that familiarity. But the reality is, it's again going back to this is our landscape. This is our competitive opportunities. And so I'm excited. I'm excited. The attendance in the Big Ten has been soaring. We're going to get to play at Iowa. We're going to get to play at Indiana. I mean, they have some of the best fan bases at Maryland. So I'm really excited about that challenge. And the reality is, if you want to be pursuing excellence at the highest levels, you really have to be in the Big Ten. And for basketball, there's just no other conference that compares in our new landscape.
You're going to have a very fun non-conference slate, though, too. You mentioned the South Carolina game here at home. Starting the year in Paris, though, against Louisville.
Mm-hmm. And Louisville's a really good team. They've got a great freshman class. They got some impactful transfers, but, Cochran inside is going to really be somebody who can bang with Lauren, and which will be really a great challenge for us. I actually coached with Jeff Walls with USA Basketball for 3 summers, and so it's going to be great. But what an experience. I really want to thank our administration for supporting this kind of thing. I'd say 9 out of our 13 players have never been to Paris. And so, to think about what we're doing, we're bringing a professor with us and Dr. Howard. We're going to have an amazing time. We're going to be very competitive, but we're also going to have a cultural experience, and we're going to go and experience the art and the sights, and we're going to, build in that situation that probably none of us would have ever done on our own. I know I didn't even have a passport until I was in coaching.
Everybody squared away.
Everyone's squared away.
Right,
we're good to go. But, I just think what an amazing thing that college sports provides these young women. And I'm thankful for the educational side of this opportunity as well as the competitive side.
And then after that, 6 days later, the home opener against Colgate. And what I love seeing is a ton of home games on that non-conference schedule. A lot of opportunities for people to come out.
A lot of opportunities for people to come out. And obviously we have Arkansas, we have South Carolina, we got Pepperdine, a local rivalry. I specifically am excited about the Colgate. The head coach of Colgate played for me at Florida State. And so a lot of really fun matchups. But, we need Pauley to be packed. And we really need that support this year. Our goal is to have 3 sellouts to break every attendance record we've had. We broke everything last year. We're going to try to break it again this year and go to another level, and really need everybody to come out. But we've got a really good non-conference slate for people to get excited. We want to share in this experience. I loved how you started the show. You said you're women's basketball coach, right? And that's how we see it. We are representatives of this university. We are with the fans, and we want to share this experience with them, and we really do want to represent them well.
Well, you've always done such a great job of that, and it's great to catch up with you again for the first time in a little while. Excited for the start of the season.
It's going to be amazing. Thank you so much for your time. Go Bruins.